The sun is a weight on my heavy eyes. Under the dome of the perfect skies, the grass is a pillow, soft and sweet, a green retreat from the dusty street. I can hear the hum of the distant bee and the rustle of the leaves on the willow tree. The world is a blur of the gold and the green and the calmest afternoon I've ever seen. Afternoon slumber in the warm grass, watching the clouds as they slowly pass. Nothing to do and nowhere to go in the beautiful world that the shadows know. The scent of the clover is a lullaby as the afternoon breeze begins to sigh. My worries are drifting like a dandelion seed away from the life that I used to lead. The earth is a cradle, steady and deep, lulling my spirit into a sleep. Just for an hour, just for a while, living the life in a peaceful style. The sun is a weight on my heavy eyes. The sun is a weight on my heavy eyes. giant stands with its needles of green, the oldest spirit that I've ever seen. Its bark is a shield of a rugged brown, wearing the sky like a silver crown. The sun is drawing out the amber tear, the scent of the forest that is always near, raising breath in the heat of the noon, singing a slow and an ancient tune. Ancient pine and a resin breath, a victory over the winter's death, solid and strong, ancient and wise, under the dome of the mountain sky. I'll lean my back on your sturdy trunk, in the beauty of the forest I am drunk. You've seen the seasons come and go, watching how the little saplings grow. Your roots are a cage for the granite stone, in a world that the silence has always known. I'll stay for a while in your aromatic shade, in the sanctuary that the patience made. Ancient pine and a resin breath, a victory over the winter's death, solid and strong, ancient and wise, under the dome of the mountain sky, raising breath. Ancient pine, a spirit that is honest and designed divine. The trees are wearing a heavy white lace, in the orchard's quiet and hallowed space, 1,000 blossoms on a single bough. The winter is nothing but a memory now. White clouds on the branches, sweet and so fair, scenting the whole of the afternoon air. center of the bloom, banishing every shadow of gloom. Soon there'll be fruit where the flowers are now, but for today I will make a slow vow to stay in the shade of the apple tree king and listen to the song that the blossoms sing. By the beauty of the spring, I am nurtured. A circle of blue in the heart of the wood. The water is clear and the water is good. The dragonflies dance on the surface so still, under the shadow of the pine-covered hill. A silent ripple from a jumping frog, breaking the reflection of the fallen log. Azure pond and a silent ripple. The peace of the morning is more than triple. Mirror of the sky and mirror of the trees, resting in the rhythm of the summer breeze. The lilies are waking in the shallow bay, in the quiet start of a perfect day. I'll sit on the bank and I'll watch the blue, finding a spirit that is honest and true. Everything's balanced, everything's right in the middle of the mornings as you're of the morning is more than triple. Mirror of the sky and mirror of the trees, resting in the rhythm of the summer breeze. Silent ripple In the middle of a perfect and sunny day, I'll find a seat on the brookside stone, where the moss has a pillow of its own. It's soft and it's green and it's cool to the touch. I don't need the world and I don't need much. Brookside stone and a mossy pillow under the shade of the weeping willow. Listen to the ripple, listen to the flow, watching the river as the seasons go. As the river carries the worries of me, just the sound of the splash and the sun on my face. In the forest warm and hidden space. Listen to the ripple, listen to the flow, watching the river as the seasons go. Mossy pillow, brookside stone, a peace that I've never truly known.
The old giant stands with his arms so wide, with a million secrets hidden inside. The bark is rough and the trunk is gray, but the life is returning in a quiet way. Small green bumps on the edge of the wood, a sign of a power that is only good. Budding old and a strength renewed in the quiet of the forest. Solitude, you've seen 100 winters pass you by, and you're still reaching for the open sky. rising like a hidden tide from the deep, dark roots where the anchors hide. You're not in a hurry, you take your time to make the transition to the spring sublime, a monument of patience, a temple of grace in the forest ancient and holy space. And a strength renewed in the quiet of the forest solitude. You've seen 100 winters pass you by, and you're still reaching for the open sky. Strength renewed, abiding on, safe within your wooden cloak.
A splash of orange on the thistle bloom, banishing every shadow of gloom. With wings of velvet and a heart of air, floating away to the who knows where. Butterflies in a painted flight, in the middle of the morning and the midday light. A delicate traveler on a fragile breeze, dancing between the cherry wood trees. Oh, painted flight of the butterfly, a piece of the rainbow in the summer sky, light as a feather, graceful and free, teaching the world how to beautiful be. You land for a moment on a petal of red, before you find a different garden bed. No sound as you move, no shadow you cast in the world of the nature that is built to last. After the struggle and after the dark, you're a living flame and a living spark. I'll watch you dance and I'll feel the grace in the valley's warm and open space. sky, light as a feather, graceful and free, teaching the world how to beautiful be. Painted flight, butterflies under the dome of the perfect skies. Inside the shell where the winter was long, a silent prayer and a quiet song, waiting for the sun to touch the wall, waiting for the spring to give the call. The heavy sleep is starting to fade in the secret room that the patience made. Now the wings are dry and the colors are bright. Step out from the dark and into light. Oh, butterfly, dream in the chrysalis light. Take your first and your graceful flight over the garden and over the stream, living the life of a beautiful dream. Don't remember the crawling days in the green and the leafy forest maze. Now you're a spirit of the morning breeze, floating between the trees, a fragment of color, a piece of the sky, teaching the heavy world how to fly. Rest for a moment on a petal of red before you find a different garden bed. Oh, butterfly, dream in the chrysalis light. Take your first and your graceful flight over the garden and over the stream, living the life of a beautiful dream. Chrysalis light, butterfly dream. the sun is setting in a blossom of pink before the world has a chance to think. A cherry evening, soft and so fair, with a floral scent in the cooling air. The horizon is bleeding a delicate hue, washing away the shadows of the blue. Cherry evening and a pink horizon, the most beautiful world I've set my eyes on. The day is leaving with a graceful bow in the middle of the here and the middle of the now. The clouds are like petals in a sea of the gold, a story of beauty that is never old. I'll watch the transition, I'll watch the fade in the peace that the evening glow has made. A silent blessing for the end of the day, as the pink and the orange drift slowly away. Pink horizon, cherry evening, the spirit of the spring is never leaving. 1,000 small suns in the emerald sea, waking the spirit of the honeybee. A dandelion doesn't need a garden wall to stand so bright and to stand so tall. It's the gold of the poor, the treasure of the field, the finest crop that the earth can yield. Dandelion gold in the meadow sun, the race for the spring has finally begun, turning the brown into a yellow fire. tight with the peace of the valley by my side. A story of life that is brave and bold. The sun is a sliver on the edge of the world. Every blade of grass is a treasure impearled. Morning crystal. The sun is a sliver on the edge of the world. Every blade of grass is a treasure impearled. Morning crystal on a silver thread, while the rest of the forest is still in bed. The world is dew bound, heavy and wet. The most beautiful morning that I've seen yet. Oh, dew bound in the morning light. Everything's fresh and everything's bright, reflecting the sky in a million drops before the pulse of the morning stops. My boots are soaked as I walk through the field, to the magic that the early morning will yield. The spiders have woven a diamond net on the bushes where the shadows are lingering yet. It's a temporary glory, a liquid grace on the morning's quiet and waking face. So dew bound in the morning light. Everything's fresh and everything's bright, reflecting the sky in a million drops before the pulse of the morning stops. night. Everything's fresh and everything's bright, reflecting the sky in a million drops before the pulse of the morning stops. Morning crystal, dew blind, peace in the morning is easily found. Above the pond where the lilies sleep, a tiny sentinel has a watch to keep. With 4 clear wings, like a window pane, flying through the sun and the silver rain. Flash of blue and a spark of red, over the water and the garden bed, shimmering light in a frantic flight, before the coming of the evening night. Oh, dragonfly wings and shimmering light, dancing in the middle of the morning bright. A jewel in the air, spirit on high, a piece of the rainbow in the summer sky. You hover for a second, perfectly still, by the power of a tiny and ancient will. Then in a heartbeat you're gone from the sight, back to the world of the sun and the light, teaching the world how to move and be free, in a way that is magic for you and for me. The pond is a mirror for your painted grace, in the valley's warm and open space. Oh, dragonfly wings and shimmering light, dancing in the middle of the morning bright. A jewel in the air, spirit on high, a piece of the rainbow in the summer sky. Shimmering light, dragonfly wings. Listen to the song that the summer brings.
seasons return in a circle of time, turning the world into a rhythm sublime. From the first green shoot to the fallen leaf, life is a story that is long and brief. The heartbeat of nature is steady and deep. Through the waking world and the world of sleep, it's an eternal spring, a never-ending flow, watching how the seeds and the spirits grow. Eternal spring in a nature's heartbeat, making the song of the forest complete, connected by life and connected by light, in the victory over the winter night. Every flower that dies will be born again, in the middle of the sun and the silver rain. The earth is a mother, steady and strong, writing the notes of a never-ending song. We are just a part of the grand design in the forest architecture, so divine. So close your eyes and feel the pulse of a world that is true and nothing else. Eternal spring in a nature's heartbeat, making the song of the forest complete, connected by life and connected by light, in the victory over the winter night. Nature's heartbeat, eternal spring. Listen to the music that the centuries bring. The sun is a fire on the edge of the wood, the final message that the day is good, turning the green into a burnished gold, a story of warmth that is never old. The shadows are long on the forest floor, stretching away from the cabin door. The light is a of the afternoon storm. Evening glow and a golden dusk, scent of the pine and the forest musk. The day is leaning into the night in the beautiful fade of the golden light. The birds are quiet in their leafy beds, with a million dreams in their tiny heads. The world is a painting of a golden hue, washing away the shadows of the blue. I'll sit on the porch and watch it fade in the peace that the evening glow has made. A silent blessing, a quiet grace on the forest soul and weary face. Evening glow and a golden dusk, scent of the pine and the forest musk. The day is leaning out into the night in the beautiful fade of the golden light. Golden dusk, evening glow, watching the light as it starts to go. The stars are waking and the moon is high, as the last of the orange leaves the sky. A white star opens in the leafy dark, near the path and near the garden park. The evening jasmine is starting to breathe the sweetest scent that the night can weave, a ghostly beauty in the cooling air, a floral magic that is beyond compare. Evening jasmine and a night scent, everything's beautiful and heaven sent, leading us home through the shadows deep, while the rest of the world is falling asleep. spirit of the forest hold. I'll sit on the bench and I'll breathe it in, where the world of the dreams and the earth begin. A silent companion for the silver light, until the morning breaks the night. Evening jasmine and a night scent, everything's beautiful and heaven sent, leading us home through the shadows deep, while the rest of the world is falling asleep. Night scent, evening jasmine, a peace that has always been. In the damp of the shade where the light is dim, a tiny spiral on the forest rim. A fiddlehead is waking from the dark of the ground, in the most beautiful geometry I've found. Uncurling so slowly, a leaf at a time, turning the mud into something sublime. Fern unfurling into green spiral, the message of the spring is going viral. A pattern of light and a pattern of grace in the forest's open hidden space. From a tight little knot to a fan of the green, the softest texture that I've ever seen. Every leaf is a mirror of the one before, as it opens its heart to the forest floor. It's a lesson in growth and a lesson in time, in a world that is simple, in a world that is proud. Fern unfurling into green spiral, the message
sure the spring is going viral. A pattern of life and a pattern of grace in the forest's old and hidden space. Green spires, fern unfurling. Green spires, fern unfurling. Fern unfurling. The magic of the woods is swirling. In the damp of the shade, where the damp of the shade, when the damp of the shade, whoa, in the damp of the shade. In the damp of the shade, where the light is dim, the damp of the shade, the damp of the shade. In the damp of the shade. The canopy is knitting its fingers tight, blocking the heat of the midday light. A cathedral of green, a temple of leaves, where the spirit of the forest quietly breathes. The light is filtered through a million panes, following the lines of the leafy veins. Emerald shade on the forest floor. I couldn't ask for anything more. Forest vernal in the emerald shade, in the sanctuary at the patient's made. Cool is the air and soft is the sound.
most peaceful place I've found. The moss is a carpet deep and old, keeping the secrets that have never been told. A drop of water falls from the height, catching a ray of the scattered light. Time is a river that doesn't flow here, where the message of the spring is perfectly clear. Rest your eyes in the sea of the green, in the quietest place that you've ever been. Forest vernal in the emerald shade, in the sanctuary that the patience made. Cool is the air and soft is the sound, in the most peaceful place I've found. Emerald shade, forest vernal, beauty that feels so eternal. I've pulled the weeds and I've turned the soil, in the middle of the sweat and the happy toil. There's a peace in the dirt, a truth in the seed, everything I want and everything I need. The gate is closed to the noise of the street. In my garden sanctuary, life is sweet. Garden solitude and a quiet bloom. There's no more space for the winter gloom, just the earth and the sun and the morning air and the tiny miracles everywhere. The tulips are standing in a colorful row, watching how the little sprouts start to grow. I'll sit on the bench with a book in my hand, in the finest kingdom in all of the land. It's a slow conversation with the living things, listening to the song that the silence sings.
High above the line where the great trees grow, where the ground is still white with the winter snow, a tiny blue gentian breaks through the crust, turning the ice into a mountain dust. The air is thin and the air is cold, but the spirit of the meadow is brave and bold. It's the alpine spring, short and bright, in the middle of the peaks and the granite light. Mountain meadow and an alpine bread, a victory over the winter's death. Pure is the wind and wide is the view, in the world that is honest and a world that is new. The bells on the goats make a distant chime, measuring the slope in the mountain time. I can see the valley a world away, in the golden light of the alpine day. The clouds are my neighbors, the stars are my friends, at the place where the road and the planet ends. Breath in the crystal, breath in the high, under the roof of the mountain sky.
The horizon is painted in a primrose pink. Before the world has a chance to think, a soft awakening, a pastel glow, watching the light as it starts to grow. The sky is a wash of the lavender light, washing away the ghost of the night. The dew is a pearl on the primrose petal, before the day begins to settle. Primrose dawn and a pastel sky, watching the morning begin to sigh. Soft and delicate, new and bright, the victory of the spring over the night. The birds are whispering their first refrain to the rhythm of the distant mountain rain. Every color is muted and sweet, making the morning's beauty complete. It's the quietest hour of the entire day, when the noise of the world is far away. I'll drink in the color, I'll breathe in the air, in the middle of a morning beyond compare. Pastel sky, watching the morning begin to sigh. Soft and delicate, new and bright, the victory of the spring over the night. Pastel sky, primrose dawn, before the shadows are truly gone.
The ice has retreated to the mountain peak, and the river has found the voice to speak, tumbling over the granite ledge, splashing the moss on the water's edge. A rhythmic dance of the silver and blue. Everything's moving, everything's new. The stones are polished smooth and round in the most musical rhythm I've found. River dance and a stone ripple. The beauty of the spring is more than triple, flowing away to the distant sea, setting the heart of the forest free. Can you hear the clicking of the pebble song as the current carries the life along? The trout jumping in the morning light after the long and the frozen night. It's a celebration of the liquid grace on the valley's old and rocky face. I'll follow the bank, I'll follow the flow, watching how the river and the seasons go. First warm drops on the dry brown clay, the smell of the life on a rainy day. It's the scent of the earth, heavy and deep, waking the garden from its winter sleep. Petrica rising in a misty cloud, a silent message never too loud. The soil is breathing, the soil alive, giving the sight for the forest to thrive. Scent of earth and a petrica bliss, nature's own and a rainy kiss. Everything's fresh and everything's clean, the most honest perfume that I've ever seen. The roots are reaching for the liquid gift, feeling the weight of the season shift. It's the smell of the beginning, the scent of the birth, of everything good on this beautiful earth. I'll stand in the rain with my head held high under the gray and the weeping sky, drinking the aroma, drinking the peace, wishing curb bliss, nature's own and a rainy kiss. Everything's fresh and everything's clean, the most honest perfume that I've ever seen. Petri curb bliss, crust is breaking into islands of grey as the winter's armor starts to melt away. The water below is a deep dark blue, reflecting a sky that is honest and new. The mirror is clearing, the vision is plain, waking from the cold and the icy chain. Flowing lake and a blue mirror, the message of the spring is getting clearer, breaking the silence of the frozen deep, waking the spirits from the heavy sleep. The ripples are dancing on the edge of the shore, finding the rhythm they've been waiting for. A bridge between the ice and the summer heat, making the cycle of the lake complete. I'll stand on the dock and watch the flow, watching the last of the winter go.
hear the silence of the frozen deep, waking the spirits from their heavy sleep. Blue mirror, thawing lake, for the beauty's sake. No rows of roses, no garden walls, just the wild where the mountain calls. A sea of colors, a chaotic grace in the valley's wide and open space. Violets and poppies in a tangled dance, left to the wind and left to the chance. The earth is a painter with a million hues, washing away the winter blues. Untamed spring in the wildflower valley, far from the city and the concrete alley. Let the grass grow and let the seeds fly under the dome of the blue spring sky. I'll walk through the waist-high emerald sea with the honeybees for my company. Every bloom has a different name in the garden that no one can ever tame. The scent is a perfume, thick and sweet, making the life of the field complete. Sit in the middle and let yourself go in the rhythm that only the wildflowers know. Untamed spring in the wildflower valley, far from the city and the concrete alley. Let the grass grow and let the seeds fly under the dome of the blue